Welcome back everyone. Hope you liked the last video. Seems to have had quite a few views in just a week. Around here today, see if we can actually get a turning over. What we're going to be doing is taking all the spark plugs out, putting some oil down each plug, then we'll obviously screw the plugs back in. I might attempt to turn her over today, or I might just let her sit for a couple of days. We'll see. So let's take you in now and then let's have a look. If I zoom you just in a little bit better. Let's lift this bonnet. Get you in a bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. It's a bit hard because I'm using my phone at the minute rather than the camera. But obviously being a 6-cylinder, you've got 3 spark plugs this side, 3 spark plugs that side. I'm going to take the air filter box off, take all the plugs out. As you'll see from before, obviously the rotor arm is showing because I've removed the distributor cap. I'll remove that for now, just so if I do attempt to turn it over, I want to obviously make sure that the rotor arm's going to turn. That way we'll know if this timing gear is okay, because I know these engines do suffer from their timing gear shredding because they're only made of like a fibre. Just pull the vacuum hose off the bottom. A bit hard because I didn't really want to be getting the car out today because it's like a bit of a slope where the vehicle is, so it's hard for me to get it up myself. But let's start by taking the plugs out. Don't have to take them out in order, it's only taking plugs out. Here comes the first one, but it's cracked loose, okay. See, it's really cold today. Well, I got a hat on. Give you a look at the first plug that I've taken out. That gap looks a bit small, but they're NGK plugs, so they're not original. That's cracked loose, okay. So I don't know if you've seen what I was doing there, but rather than suddenly give it a jolt to try and crack it loose, I was working it, sort of thing. So you're not putting too much stress on the plug. Obviously, because it's been so long since it's been out, you don't know if they're absolutely corroded in. Before it was parked up. Right. One thing I've actually got is I've got this oil pump. It's got like a manual pump on top and it will squirt the oil out. I put some engine oil in there. So So let's squirt some oil down. Going to be a bit hard really because quite far in. What I should do? Turn that off. Just take the hook off the end so it's just a bit of pipe. That way it should be a lot more easier. There you go. Shove it in the hole. Right, it's starting to squirt oil in now. So that'll probably do a bit more. Cylinder 2, cylinder 2. So I'm working from the opposite side. Cylinder 5. Right, just wipe the oil off my hands. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stop that there for now. I'm going to let the oil sink in for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'm going to attempt to turn it over by hand. So, see you in a minute. Welcome back. Right, one issue we've got is typical with an Essex V6. You can't get anything on the crank puller because you got the power steering puller. And then you got the adapter pulley for that, which blanks the crank pulley bolt off. I ain't taking them off. So the only other way that we're going to turn the engine over is with a 22mm spanner. Bit hard to actually see, but 22 on the alternator. Obviously you can't just turn it over by the alternator because it spins. So what we're going to have to do is, you see the alternator belt, we have to push down on the belt to create a lot of tension, and then we'll see if we can crank the engine over. I'm going to see, obviously, easier than you, but if I just zoom in, come out a bit. There you go, right. If you look at the rotor arm, just there, as I turn the engine, if the engine isn't seized and if the timing gear etc is all good, you will see that rotor arm turn. Right, so like I said, push down really hard on the belt, and as I turn, no way. No fucking way. Well, there's a thumbs up. She ain't seized. I don't know if you've seen that, but just as I rock in the spanner, forward and back, seeing the rotor arm just moving tiny little bit. So now, if I push down on the alternator belt, right, then pull. With these engines, it don't matter if you turn it whichever way, because it can't lose time because there's no tension or anything. It's just two gears that mesh together. Just letting you know before you get someone say you can't turn an engine backwards. It doesn't matter on these. I'm just turning it this way because it's easier. But even if I was to turn it that way, push down. It's turning easier as well. There you go. Look at that beauty. Let me just zoom out so you You can see me work a bit better. Right, there you go. So you're gonna be able to see me a bit better in the video now. Right, it's actually turning over a lot easier now. And then I'm gonna turn it over a few times. And the reason we were actually turning it over as well is because obviously if any of the valves are stuck in the valve guides, then there's a potential obviously that the valves will hit the pistons. So that's why you should never just turn it by the key. At least this way it's more safer. If it locks up, you're gonna feel it lock up. And what I'm also going to be doing before I actually attempt to fire up is, obviously the engine's not seized. We can see the rotor arm turning. So in theory, all she needs is fuel, a battery, and providing she's got good ignition, she'll fire up.